Alright, welcome back to another installment of B3D and Chill. That's Blender and Chill, in case you didn't know. Or Blender 3D and Chill, really. Just gonna have a quick look and a quick listen on both YouTube and Twitch, where we're streaming today, to make sure that audio sounds good. At which point we'll get this party started. Sounds good on YouTube, checking Twitch now. And sounds good on Twitch, great. Well, here we go. So, that out of the way, and that introduction steady. This is B3D and Chill. It's a series that I started a couple weeks ago in order to give myself some accountability for the projects that I'm working on and to just keep moving forward. I started the piece that you see here with just this Drive-Thru menu box right here, and it quickly evolved, or you could say devolved, into a drive-thru in this whole street scene that you see. If you haven't joined us before, these two cars here are actually photo scans that I took using my iPhone and an app called Polycam, the link of which I'll leave in the description of the video after the stream is over. And they look kind of broken, but that's okay. And this bin here too is right outside my apartment complex, and I quickly walked around it using my phone and that same app and scanned it and brought it into this scene with a couple of button clicks. This bus stop you see back here is actually modeled after the one in the show Dark, which is on Netflix, and this was one of the first projects I took on when I started learning Blender. And this restaurant and camera and all the stuff that's adjacent to it and inside of it too just came as part of the project that I'm working on, and some suggestions that were made by people and friends that were watching it either synchronously, so with us at the time of streaming, or asynchronously afterwards, giving me their tips and imparting some knowledge on me as to what sort of things I can add to make the scene look a little bit more realistic. We got my buddy Enzo Wow TTV watching on Twitch, who says, "Boo, this guy stinks." Yeah, I agree, this Enzo Wow TTV guy does stink, but thanks for joining, Enzo. Glad to have you. I'm fully out of water except for here, so I'm going to take a quick moment to save, as has been the tradition so far. Control S to save. That's my reminder to save, and your reminder to drink water. Hydro homies, aren't we? Alright, let's see how we're doing on streams. We're doing alright. Cool. Since the last time that we worked on this piece together, I added this counter here, as well as this poster and the parts of the inside of this restaurant to try to make it look a bit more real. Prior to that, we had an image texture that was applied on a plane out here in what's now this window, or this glass pane, and it didn't look great. It didn't look realistic. There was no light casting from the inside of the restaurant. Now, if you could see here where I'm about to draw this arrow, for some reason the arrow is not drawing. Eckhart Troll says, "Oh hey, hello Eckhart Troll," and Enzo Wow TTV says, "If you started with just a menu on the drive-thru thing, that's impressive." I did, so thanks for that. And I think the reason we can't see what I'm drawing, yep, there we go, is because I had my outlines turned off. But as I was saying, if you see this light here that's bouncing on the pavement, that's actually coming from inside. It's kind of drowned out at the moment by this light here, which I can toggle off for a moment. But you see what I mean? The lights inside the restaurant are casting reflections here on the pavement, which adds to that realism and that dynamism. Eckhart Troll asks, "Is the poster on the wall?" And I believe it is. If it's not on the wall, it's at least very close to being on the wall. Let's do a quick check here. Yes, it is on the wall, and I think I used the face snapping to accomplish that. And Eckhart Troll also says on the Twitch chat, is there a bump on the exterior plaster? There is, and that's all thanks to Sharan, or Just 3D Things here on YouTube, who kindly offered some skills and some insights as to what I could add to this piece to make it look just a little bit more realistic. So I think for today, what I'd like to do is finalize this piece, create a render, maybe a slight animation, since we did bother to make this nuggets sign flash, and I can prove that to you by just hitting play. And we'll watch it. The frame's a little slow, but it is animated. And Eckhart Troll says, I'm not sure why it looks a little stretched to me. Stretch the plaster, you mean? It might be because it is stretched, honestly. But I could maybe fix that just to give it a better look. Enzo Wow TTV says, can you change the street lamp lighting to LED? I could, but I think for this scene I want it to I just want it to give us that old sodium vapor lamp look, but it would be as easy as just changing the color temperature to something like this, and now it looks like we've got these LED lights going on, which might look a little bit better actually, especially with this one and the contrast. So we'll see. Enzo says, hella slow. Shake my head, rookie, about the flashing nugget sign. Yeah, it's to do with the computer, less so with the animation, but we'll see. I'm going to save again. It's my reminder to save and your reminder to stretch. I'm going to take a quick look and make sure we're still rocking and rolling on YouTube. We are. It's great. Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, unfortunately the stream will be a little bit delayed. If you are watching on Twitch, you'll be almost right on time. But I would recommend watching and subscribing on YouTube if you haven't already, just so you can keep up with the future streams that may not be happening on Twitch or elsewhere, and the other types of content that will go beyond streaming and more into the short film territory, especially once I get these pieces started and gain some traction there. Alright, so I wanted to, when we first started working on this piece a little bit ago, we had this light here, which still exists, but it's just not nearly as strong as it needs to be in order to cast sufficient light on these cars and to sort of imitate the light that's coming from inside. So I wonder if instead of doing that, if we can't delete this light and delete these windows and maybe carve into this wall in some way to give us a bit of to make it look like we are, what am I trying to say? I'm getting confused here because I'm reading Enzo typing into the Twitch chat, GG's ma, but what I think he was trying to type was GG's man, so it's cracking me up a little bit. GG's to you. Yeah. So what I want to do is just try to recreate this window here, so that we can cast some realistic-ish lights onto those cars. I'm realizing two things now. One, I'm cutting into the wrong side of this building, and two, I have X-ray on, and actually a third thing too is that I don't have screencast keys turned on, but now I do. So now you'll be able to see what I'm doing here on the left side corner of the map. Alright, so do we have this face cut out the way we want it to? Somewhat. If we can just squish it, maybe bring it up. This will mess with the normals. I don't recommend it, but I don't think we'll be revisiting this side anytime soon. So we'll just delete that face. And now there should be some light being cast on those cars from inside. Let's see. I'm gonna undo that. yeah, it's not really that much of a difference. So I guess at that point I'll just Control Z my way back to where I was before. There's no point in doing that. There we go. And I think what I'll do instead is I'll just add that light back, that area light. We'll change its rotation, probably the other way. And try to get it, oh, wrong button there. Try to get it just a little bit closer to the cars, and maybe we can give the light a bit more power, something like 150. There we go. And so now it looks like there's some light flashing onto the cars from inside the restaurant. Presumably this would be like where the people that pass the drive-thru go and get their food, if they wanted to. Do a quick check here, make sure I'm not missing any messages anywhere. Okay, I mean, we're doing so good. Got that light going on. That's nice. One other thing that Sharon and I had talked about briefly is that it would be really cool to make it and give the appearance of some cars driving by. So if we grab 2-point lights over here, maybe we could get away with just one actually. And we give it a bit more power, so let's say 200. That's a bit much. 125. That's a bit more reasonable. And give it a red tint to make it look like a car. And save it so that stuff doesn't crash on me. And we animate it going from left to right like this. Whoops. Along the x-axis. Then we can give it the appearance of a car driving by, and if I make an animation of this scene, then we can make it sort of look like, yeah, like a car was driving by, and I would add in some noise like meow, but maybe sounding a little bit more like a car, and less so like some mouth audio puppetry. What do you think? This might look good. Might be a little too intense for a car, and I'm worried that you'll see it in the reflection. So maybe we can change the size. Instead of being 0.25 meters, we could do 0.2. And that will look more like a car light, or be about the right size. And I'm wondering too, if we were to snap that selection to the cursor, if we can kind of trick. Yeah, I mean, that kind of looks like that light is on. Somewhat. It's not bad, actually. So, kind of like that. It kind of gives the impression that this person is waiting for their food. We'll just select this light. I should have not duplicated it like that, so I'm going to undo that. Select this light. Where are you, light? Alt-D. And drop it in here. Yes. And now, yeah, it looks like the car light's on just a little bit. I'm sure we can tweak this further. So how is everybody doing today who's joining on stream? We've got Enzo in the chat, we've got Eckhart Troll in the chat. How is everyone? We got Decoded in the chat. Oh, amazing. Hey Rob, thanks for joining. Yeah, so glad to hear you're doing good. I mean, we're starting to get this going. I think one other thing I added previously that I might have deleted accidentally was a light that was here. Oh no, it's still here. It's just quite dim. Let's rock it up to 25 or something. Nope, that actually won't make too much of a difference. 100. There we go. Something about that though is giving it I don't know, it just looks a little too I would like for there to be some light here too. So maybe what I'll do is I'll grab this light, I'll parent the light to the light fixture, and now if I move it, will they all move? Great. And I'll duplicate this and set this one not in that direction, but maybe somewhere here. And it looks atrocious, but actually if it's going to be out of camera, we don't even need, well, I might animate this differently, so I'll leave it there for now. But one of the things that I've been meaning to do is to come back and touch up this texture, which was supposed to look like some form of corrugated metal of some sort. It doesn't look like that now, but we'll come back to it. Decoded VFX in the chat on Twitch says it might look a bit better once the lighting has been baked. Yes, I think so too. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not super sure about the whole light baking process yet. I've only just discovered slash what's the word I'm looking for here, worked out the baking process, like baking a material down. Light is probably something similar to that, so not super alien, but still not something I know how to do off the top of my head. I'm realizing too that the spill from these lights, just by virtue of this car, you know, not being full on the inside, is not great. So maybe there's some trickery that I can do here. Inserting some plane and stretching it to cut that light out. Oh, and that's actually too much stretch. Probably just want it. What's happening here? Yeah, there's a lot to learn still by way of keeping my projects performant. And while I'm cognizant of that, I think it's also just equally as important for me to just do, you know? So I look back at some of the things that I worked on in the early Blender days, like that bus stop that I just showed you. Oh, we don't want to scale the car, we want to scale this. Like that bus stop, and it wasn't, you know, it wasn't the cleanest, topology's not the best, but I was so damn proud of myself when I finished that bus stop, and it looked somewhat like it did in the show, because I was not expecting it to come close. And I feel the same way when I look at this. What am I moving here? I feel the same way when I look at this piece. And it's been fun, as I was mentioning to one of our friends and colleagues, Chris Bailey, Film, who's also a Blender educator, that here on YouTube and on Twitch, that it's been fun to watch the trajectory of this piece from the thumbnails alone. As I'm making the thumbnails, I have a Photoshop document to keep it to keep everything tidy to some degree, and it's been fun to see the piece progress like that. Okay, that looks slightly better. Just to be super sure though, let's grab that plane, and if I hide it, yeah, that's good. Movie magic, man. Movie magic. So that car's on. This car's parked. Presumably the person works in there or something. This person's waiting for their food. This is not like right here. Oh, we don't have. There we go. This right here doesn't look like ample space to make a turn, but I think we'll let that one go. Decoded says, light baking in Eevee is pretty easy. Just add an irradiance object, scale it up to fit the scene, then in the render panel go to indirect lighting, bake lighting. Okay. And does this afford us the... Will this allow us to have all the lights essentially exist within one light object as opposed to all being separate? Or is this something that's more to be used right before rendering for compositing sake? These are the things that I question. So Eckhart Troll earlier mentioned that the plaster looks a little bit stretched out. I kind of like it because it looks like it was an afterthought. But if it's gonna look off-putting, I don't want that. So maybe you can tweak it a little bit and see what sort of results we get out of the plaster. 'Tis just a texture after all. So let's see, 2. And this looks not great. We scale it way up. I feel like I need to do this in this mode, just so that I can get a better look. Oh, actually, this already looks way better than it did when it was here. So you're right, Eckhart Troll. We'll leave it. We'll leave it like that. And Dakota says, essentially it'll make Eevee look more like it's been ray traced. Interesting. Okay. I'm feeling bold, so I will try that. I hope it works. Alright, so let's see. Space here, irradiance, volume. I think this is what you mean. And I don't see it, okay. And we'll make it fit the scene. I think for this we'll probably want to use this view just so that I can have a better idea. And this about fits the scene. I'm going to do the next steps slowly so Rob can scream in the chat if something's not looking good. And rereading the comment, light baking in Eevee is pretty easy. Irradiance object. Done. Scale it down a bit on the z-axis. Okay. Probably want to catch this one, and just to be super sure, what is this light doing? What are you called anyway? You can start to see here that I could be more organized about this than I am at the moment. Doesn't seem like this light is doing all that much for us, so I'm going to get rid of it. Wait a minute. I think it was doing something for us. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Let's make sure we catch this light. There we go. Save just in case something goes horribly wrong. And the rest of that comment said, scale it up to fit the scene, then in the render panel, that's this guy. Oh my god, I said it, this guy. Oh, minus 10 cool points for me. That's this panel. No, it's not. Which one is it? Render. There we go. Indirect lighting. Bake lighting. Okay. stuff is happening. 0%, 2, 5, 8, 11. That's actually quite quick. And in the meantime, just because this is bugging me slightly, I recently remade the socials tag at the bottom of the screen that you're seeing, just because I think it looks just slightly cleaner to have not have my name there twice. But I'm going to move the screen up just a little bit because I think it's a little too close to my name. So there we go. I feel like the spacing feels better. Alright, and stuff has happened. Let's see now. Come back, grass. Maybe it's just that I don't know what to look for, but... Or maybe you should have done like a before and after. I want to say that this does look slightly different, but I'm not sure why. It looks so... It looks kind of... I want to say... I don't know. What am I looking for here, Rob? I want to say that it looks like there's more highlight fall off. And that there's a clear distinction between these, whoops. What's happening? Come on. There's a clear distinction between this here and this red light versus this orange light. But I could be making it all up, and it's just like a bias. So I'm not totally sure. I am glad it worked out fairly quickly though. I'm getting back channel conversations about there being white noise in the background. Sorry about that. I'll try to fix that a little bit. I don't know what the best way of doing that is though, to be fully honest with you. But hopefully this fixed it to some degree. You let me know. It's a bit like ambient occlusion. It'll add some indirect bounce lighting to surfaces and some ambient contact shadows. Okay, I see that. Thanks for the tip, Rob. I think that's really helpful. Oh, bloom. We have bloom on. If we toggle it off, not much happens. Okay. Okay. Back in 2 seconds. Stay with me though. I'm going to try to see if I can't fix that noise. And we're back. Thanks for your patience and sorry for the heart attack if my return scared you. I'm not sure there's much I can do about the noise at the moment, but I can promise to shell some money out for a better microphone in the near future. I'm streaming straight out of Streamlabs OBS, and so I'm not sure what all I need to do here. And the goal for setting up these streams has been half to actually get some stuff done, and half to figure out the whole streaming setup. So I'm sorry to say, but you're just gonna have to suck it up for now, mates. I'm gonna switch an audio device here. Yeah, sorry y'all. That's the way it be sometimes. All right, back to work. So we've got this scene. I have this counter, but right now it doesn't really make sense in the scene because there's nothing on it. This wood texture is trash because I threw it up kind of quickly. And I guess I could get away with just throwing in bevel modifier here just to give this some life. Did this even do anything? Kinda did. And it still feels like we're missing something. And I'm not really sure what it is. I want to say that if I save this, I save like a madman if I'm streaming, because you just gotta, you know. And I will append from a file. I'll look for my friend. Where are you, friend? Go here, Blender projects. You can't see any of this, but that's all deliberate. Don't you worry. You're not missing much. It's just me looking through files going, that's not the one I'm looking for. That's not the one I'm looking for. Let's see. Go to collection here, and we'll bring in this one and cross our fingers that it's the right file. Oh, who dat? It's your boy, me. Except something's up with my face and none of the materials are right. Or actually, it's just this one. So I can fix that. What is this whole material? Denim, Texture Haven denim. I'll just quickly open, actually, as some of my British friends would say, sod that, we don't need it. We'll just give it a dark color. It'll be in the background anyway. I don't know that we need me to look like 2 chains over here, or 3 chains, or 5 chains. I'll just grab me, my head, my necklace, and my hoodie. Join us just for this piece, and move me out back here like I'm trying to grab some food. Oh no, we forgot my glasses. Let's see if we can't put my glasses back on my face from all the way over here. Did it work? Slightly. Oh, we left the middle part of the glasses too? This is just a train wreck, eh? You won't really see it, but let's just keep it clean. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Again and again and again until I teleport. Let's go. until I teleport. Did I really snap for all these places? There we go. And now we're here. We will make sure not to leave my glasses this time. I need those. I have a really hard time seeing without them, because I'm not blessed with the gift of sight. Foresight, yes. Hindsight, yes, but just not sight anywhere in the interim. Selection to cursor, keep offset. That was probably not the right thing to do, but it's an easy fix. Now rotate me, make me look like I'm going to get some food. Maybe move me further back into the shadows. And there I am, in my own scene. I'm getting hit by this light back here, which is kind of nice. And if we really wanted to, let's see. Can make this light stretch out to be, no, not the house or building, but the light. Whoa. Extend the length of the window here, or what's meant to be the window, and see how this affects the light that's being cast on me. Not all that much, but if we go into the light settings and crank them up to 200, then you start to see some more light on me. And man, I look like a grumpy guy. And for some annoying reason, somewhere here is the floating middle bit of my glasses. So now that I've got it selected, if you didn't know this, you're about to learn it now. Go to me, shift click on the middle of my face, shift S, selection to cursor, that middle bit flies into place. Or just about. That's my unibrow there in all its glory. And that looks properly placed, and we'll just join it. There it is. Dakota says in the chat, I wouldn't want to bump into that fella in a dark alley. Me neither. Me neither. He looks like he's got like a shank. And he's wearing leggings, and he's wearing a shirt inside out, and he's got like a Voldemort face going on back here in the back of his head. And this is all just because I haven't bothered to figure out how to do any texture mapping properly yet, and I should probably shade this smooth. Just cause. And his neck is being held together by this piece of metal. But you know what? He's a good guy. He's got a good heart, and all he wants to do is just learn how to use Blender. So far, so good. So he's getting out of that car. Looks kind of sus. Let's... He's so close to the car. Let's move him back a little bit. There you go. Just some separation. Great. And maybe we can put somebody inside the restaurant. And for that, I've got another trick up my sleeve. Just gonna wait for this to finish saving here, and I'm going to append another friend. This time though, let me see if I can find the right file. And for this one, for this trick, we're looking for Greg Wick. I mentioned this in the previous stream, but I put a call out. I put a call out to my friends and asked them to kindly submit. Oh no, his head is missing. Let's see. Oh no. Let's undo this. Good thing for that undo button. Command Z. Bring us back. Command Z. Or Control. There we go. I'll save this real quick, and we'll see if we can't if we can't fix this. So I'm going to quickly open a different file here. It's called Greg Wick. I hope you'll still be able to see it. If not, we'll fix that in a moment. Let's see. Yep, you're seeing the same file I'm seeing. That's good. And let's just keep things organized for our sake. So I asked my friends to submit some photo scans of their faces done with an app, an iPhone app, and Greg kindly obliged. So he gets to be part of this too. Thank you, Greg. Handsome dog. I should fix this, so I'm gonna quickly go into sculpting here and push his neck back in. I'm sure he would appreciate that. Oh, or pull it out maybe? Yeah, let's do that. Much better. We'll save, because if you didn't notice already, even though I've said it, I'm a saving addict. And what do we got here? We don't need this image texture. Make sure we've got his face selected. What can we bring down? I think that's fine, actually. And what we want to do is, I still want to work on this, so for the time being, what I'll do is I will just, what will I do? Save, duh, and I'll duplicate that, join this, and now we've got Greg Wick 1, and we'll put this, we'll make a new collection and call it Greg Wick Greg Wick 1, put him in there, save it. While we're here, actually, I'm gonna try something I haven't tried before, at least on stream, but it might work. Auto Rig Pro. Let's do a smart get selected objects. It'll take some moment. Yep. Okay, add neck. Oh, interesting. Crap. Cancel and delete. Alright. So maybe what we want is to have this nope. Okay, be annoying, I guess. We'll just do this the old-fashioned way. So we only want Greg Wick on. We don't need any of these lights right now. Let's just turn it all off. Except for Greg Wick. Great. And if we move it, yep. So now we'll get selected objects. My phone is telling me my bedtime is set for 11 p.m. and that's a couple minutes from now, but I can't help it. Add neck. We'll drop it in there. That looks about right. Add chin. And we'll place it on Greg's chinny chin chin. Yep. Add shoulders. Looking good. Add wrists. That's about there. And the texture's off somewhat, but you know, we do what we can. Oh man. Okay, that's about the wrist. What do we got? Spine root. That's an easy one. Ankles. Oh, whoops. What's happened? Crap. We're stuck. Add ankles. I think the ankles got stuck up there for some reason. Add ankles. There we go. If this doesn't work, I don't know what will. Find 5 fingers. How many fingers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I guess we can leave that on. We'll save it, because you know me. And go. Let's hope it works. I should rig up some Jeopardy music so that you can hear some Jeopardy music when this is going on. Ooh. Oh, what happened? That doesn't look right. But you know what? It doesn't matter too much because didn't work. Doesn't matter to match to rig. Is that what we want? I'm expecting a rig to show up. It will happen eventually. I think Blender's just thinking and thinking and thinking. Feel free to drop an F in the chat for F's sake. Just quickly check on my investment portfolio. It's looking good. And just quickly stretch. Decoded says F. Yep. F in the chat. Looks like oh, there we go. All right. And sweet. So now we select this rig, L to get the linked stuff, and nothing will happen for some reason. There we go. A. Oh, we're in pose mode. Yep. Object mode. Instead, select that rig, select that character. Maybe it was the other way around. Character and then rig. Automatic weights. Please work. I really hope it works. This is what happens when you try stuff you haven't tried before. It's doing stuff. It's thinking. Hopefully it's not going to spit out a, sorry, we couldn't do it because the bone heat weighting was wrong or something. Oh, it seems to have worked. Brilliant. And so what this affords us now after all that patient waiting is that we can grab Greg's hand like this and move it. And I don't for the life of me know where the IK stuff is. It's inverse kinematics that will allow me to just rotate things at will. But if we just shape them here, then I think we'll be alright. Oh my god, what the heck just happened? That can't be right. Why is that happening? Is there another head down there? Back there? Yeah, there is. Okay. That's less scary. Head. I'm so confused by why that is happening. Okay, so now he's moving and his arms all jacked up. Go into edit mode real quick, which I'll probably regret. Maybe not. Grab all this. I want to just select that head that's in there and get rid of it. But what happens if the head I delete is not the head that we want? So now if I go into, if I select Greg, and go into pose mode, pose. Okay, I think that was the right head. Pose mode. And now we turn the head. And now we turn the head. There we go. Okay. Now we're talking. So I want to rotate the head this way, and everything will be messed up for some reason. Let's see if I rotate this to counteract it. Will it work? Will it blend? I mean, just about. It doesn't look like Greg, but it doesn't not look like Greg. You know what I mean? Sorry, Greg. It's just a joke. Okay, I think we'll just turn the body without turning the head. But you got the gist, right? Just with a quick face scan and John Wick body from Fortnite, we're able to get some monster Greg action going, and we can, you know, rotate the arms out and stuff, and make him look like an enforcer, which is kind of what I'm going for here. I want him to just hang out behind me and just look rough. So we'll do that. This would be a lot easier if, one, I knew how to do this, and two, I had a motion cap suit, because I think I could just strike the pose and then have this do the rest of the work for me. But we're not there yet, so. But if you know somebody with a suit, or somebody that wants to lend me a suit, leave a comment. I mean, this is getting us about halfway there, right? I don't know what people with arms crossed look like, but this is the point where somebody would be like, look at reference photos. And I would say, you're right, but at the same time, he's got these big hands. Big hands guy, Greg is. Big hands guy. Okay, I'm going to cross my own hands. That looks nothing like what? Cross my arms. Looks nothing like what we've got going on here. This hand would be tucked. Cross your arms for a second if you're watching this. Just so you can. That's an unnatural way to cross your arms, I think. Do you do it, when you cross your arms, do you do your left over your right or your right over your left? And while you're at it, does your tongue feel uncomfortable in your mouth? I think this just needs to be like closer in there. Not that close. Left goes on top for me. Yeah, left for me. Left on top, me too. Dakota said in the chat, left goes on top, tongue feels fine. Darn. Yeah, that tongue trick always gets me, but if I'm talking, I don't really feel it. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going for over here, but something. Maybe it would make more sense if we actually put him in the scene, but the thing is, I'm concerned about what am I concerned about? It's hard to think and do things at the same time, isn't it? Oh yeah, I'm concerned about performance, that's what it is. I don't want it to crap out on me. Oh, and the leg rig didn't really work out the way that I would have wanted it to. This is silly. This is one of those things where Rob would be like, you're spending way too much time on something that's going to take up just a couple of pixels in your scene, so what the hell's the point? But maybe we can make him... Here's what we'll do. Grab the arm. Like, sometimes there's a point, right? But sometimes you reach diminishing returns. Where, like, the time where I've spent doing this could be time spent doing something else. So what I'll do is I'll just rock his head forward and rip it off, apparently. Jeez, I want to do my buddy justice here, but whoop. Okay, this is good enough. Control S to save. We'll make sure that this is called what we want it to be called, so we'll go back to object mode real quick, and I want, let's see, Greg Wick 1, yep, that's what we want, and maybe character 1. Let's see what happens if we toggle this off. Nothing really, just the rig comes off. Okay, I mean, this is fine. If we put him in the back end, what the heck? Oh, you've lost your buttons, mate. Damn. Sorry, lad. Alright. Did we save already? Open recent. BK speaker box. I lied to everybody in the last stream and I said that I was going to take the time to change the menu items in the stream, and I guess I could do that so it's not a lie, but at the same time, do you really want to sit and watch me do all that? Perhaps not. I didn't add a bevel modifier to this, so maybe I should. Will it make a difference? Vote below. Okay, so I'm back there. We'll put Greg here for now. See what that looks like. File, append. What are we looking for? What do we call him? Greg Wick 1. Append. He should appear in the back. And he didn't. He appeared where he wanted to instead. With all this Tony Stark BS with him. Can I just select all of it? No. Where's he at? Gregwick. Toggle this. Does it all go away? No, it doesn't. When we select this, what gets selected? Uh-huh. All this CS stuff. Great. So I'll select all of it. Most of it. Get rid of it. Will that get rid of our rig positioning? Nope. Select this. Get rid of it. Oh, and he snaps back in place. We don't want that. Not after we spent so long just doing that. Shift S, selection to cursor. And he's not going anywhere. Shift S, selection to cursor. And he's not going anywhere. Why, dude? Go, man. He doesn't want to move from there. Select objects. Shift S. Oh no, I think I accidentally duplicated. Yep. Rob, mate, do you know why he is not snapping to where we want him? Select. I don't want him to just be stuck there. Rob says no idea. Ooh, this time, hold up. I need to throw an F in my own chat for that. Okay, Control P, select parent to object, loop in parents, so that's already working to some degree. I was modeling in the background, so I didn't see what was going on. Oh, no worries. Basically, I just brought my friend into the scene, and the rig, neither him nor the rig want to move. Let's see if edit mode will solve my problems. Wow. Well, I mean, we could make it look like he is just hanging out here waiting for me. But I would prefer for him not to be clipping through that sign. So, and Greg is like, I could be remembering this wrong. It's been so long since I've seen him, but he's like a head taller than me, I think. So I'll have to scale him up a little bit. But I need to sort out why he's just stuck. Greg, man, you're stuck. I'm gonna do a quick Google search. Rig, stuck, blender. Rob asks, what happens when you move him? When I grab him and I move him, he stretches. When I grab the rig and I move it, it doesn't move. Could all that stuff I deleted be useful. Do we think that's what it is? Maybe if I move this rig into Gregwick and select objects. Nope. Okay. Let's undo. Apply the armature, then move the bottle. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh my god. This gent knows so much. There's only 3 people watching right now, but when there's 1,000 people watching this at some point in the future, you should definitely go check out Decoded VFX. Cause man, what a G. And one quick thing I want to fix. Thanks, Rob. That saved the day. I want to get rid of all these buttons that are flying around. Why didn't those do it properly? Oh, I don't have this selected. That's why. Did I already say we live and we learn, folks? We live and we learn, because I'm about to say it again. Great. So we've got Greg set up. He is taller than me, so we'll just scale him up. We'll move him along the x-axis. See what this looks like. And he is way too far back to be seen. In fact, he's he's waiting for the bus behind the bus stop on what looks to be a rainy day, which is no good. So we will instead give him some, let's feature him. It's the least we could do. Man goes out, scans his face, a bunch of contorted poses just for me. Only thing that's bugging me here slightly is that I look more realistic than he does, and that's no shade on Greg. It's just the John Wick model that I'm using just doesn't. It's from Fortnite, so but I think maybe I'm gonna keep him where he was. Both for the light and what can we do here? So I'm curious, now that I've applied the armature, can I still pose him? No, clearly, because now the wrist is looking kind of funky. But we could set him up right by that car, and just trying to see how we can get away from having it be so obvious that he's from Fortnite. Not bad, or as Greg would say, not Brad. Not Brad at all. Okay, and I mean from this distance, unless I'm rendering this at 4K, kind of looks good. Kind of. I feel like his head is still a little too warped for my taste, but It's not ending up in the Guggenheim, is it? This model of me is hilarious. Alright. I'm liking this. What more could I do or add? Because this could keep going forever. But I'm actually pretty happy with where it is now. And I unfortunately baked the armature in. And while it's not a huge deal, I think the whole animating would take another stream, and I wanted this to end. I just want this to end. I wanted this to end on the 7th part, because then it would feel like at least 7 hours of work. Despite the fact that it's been more than that. It's been about nearly 2-hour streams each time, so really it's been more like almost 20 hours of work. And I want to move on to something new. But if there's something small that you think would be simple to add, if you're watching, whoever you are, throw it in. I'm open to it. Otherwise, I might hit render on this. I did have one thing, actually, come to think of it, that wasn't working out too well when I was rendering, and I think in order to show you, I'll have to switch. The poster is bugging me a bit. It says Rob, decoded VFX, maybe give it a lower roughness. Okay, seems a bit flat. Yeah, that's fair. It does look like it's like this matte paper. Just to see the difference. It's better, yeah. Yeah, wow, that's actually a big difference. Yeah, I was gonna animate this, but I'll just be honest, I don't feel like it right now. I think I'll just keep it as this. Like, I could animate the camera swiveling, and I could end up, you know, just doing a bunch of stuff, but I want to move on to something completely different. Eckhart Troll asked in the Twitch chat, how did you end up fixing the stretchiness of the plaster? I may have missed that bit. I took your advice, and what I ended up doing was selecting the plaster, going into the shading tab or workspace, and changing the scale. The scale was set to, I think, that's not the plaster, there we go. Set to 2, I think, and I set it to 20, so it would stretch out. Shout out, Aaron, if you're looking at this, please don't cringe at the node setup here. I did what I had to do to make it work. But we've got this whole crazy scene. Yeah, I don't know. Animating could take forever, but it might also be worth it. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna hit Control S here to save, and just to see what this feels like, I'm gonna animate the camera, but I may not animate the actual stuff in the scene. I'm sorry to use you as my at-home Wikipedia rub, but do you know of any way to duplicate a camera cleanly? Camera. Oh yeah, I can just Google camera. Or not Google, what? Just search. There we go. Control C, Control V. Seriously? Control C, Control V. Oh, get out of here. Don't actually though, as Eckhart Troll says. Yeah, Eckhart, you said, I kind of want it to be raining. Shadan also wanted it to be raining and showed me a sent me a link to a 2-minute tutorial that he made about creating a rain shader in Eevee. But the problem with that is that if it's raining, I'm gonna want it to be splattering on the ground too, to have the rain kind of like, you know, I don't know, making puddles on the ground. And I feel like that might be a little bit more complicated, but maybe not. Also, if so that shader was just to make it look like it's raining through the shader, if you're looking through the shader, but the objects themselves wouldn't look wet necessarily, so I don't know how I would go around that. I did consider it though. It's still up there on the things I'm curious about, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, so now we're in animation land. We're gonna hit I to set location, rotation, and scale. There's a whole ass button for that, but buttons can't be trusted. And we'll move a bit. And rotate camera. And let's trust the button. Maybe I'll bother Greg even more and just ask him to send me a voice recording going, where is this guy? Or something like that. Okay, and now let's see how it performs. Whoops. I've made an oopsie. Hey, it's actually moving. That's not bad. Now I wish I hadn't applied that armature. And again, it's not too late to go back, but thanks, Decoded. Yeah, it's really coming together. Decoded says, nice. Oh man, yeah, this was fun. I guess if I'm gonna do this, then I should do the car driving by animation and add some trees back here. Because I haven't mentioned it before, if you happen to be watching this after it's live, I love you. Thanks for doing that. I appreciate it. And you'll get to hear about it because the people that are watching currently already know. But Blenderness, which is a 3D software Blender related / based podcast that is an experimental platform and community hub, and that I happen to be a part of. Recently opened up our Discord server, and on there right now I'm digging through the resources channel because some of the members of the Discord server have made trees freely available for you to download and use in your own projects. So I'm going to quickly open one of those. I'm going to download it. This one is actually from Marco, aka Markham3D, aka Dead Set Digital on YouTube, and he's made a set of oak trees available on Gumroad, completely free of charge for you to use in your scenes. There are alpha cards, so you can rest assured that they will be performant. And what I will do is I'll just bring them into the scene real quick, right after let's see. We'll go back here. Oh no, we're still stuck in camera mode, but I think it's fine. It should snap back. Great. This is the problem of having the camera locked to our where's that button? Camera to the viewport. We don't want that. We'll go back into layout mode because it's a nicer, cleaner way to work. Go back here, just edge our way there. Drop the cursor and add some trees. Images planes, alpha trees. We'll take the oak 1, oak 2, oak 3, oak 4, and bring them in as principled materials. Rob says, I never use the lock camera thing. I always end up messing up the position. Same here. Same here. We'll grab some trees. I think we won't be able to see them at all, basically. So I'm guessing these trees would be a lot, they're oak trees, right? So they would be taller than the bus stop, which is about 8 feet tall. So the oak trees could be like twice that, if not more. I much prefer the first person controls for camera movement. I saw that in a demo once, and I, 1, don't remember how to do it, and 2, haven't really tried it out too much with my own projects to determine whether it's something I like better or not. But I have been playing around in Unreal Engine the past couple of weeks, and that way of navigating, at least within Unreal, is so... it just makes so much sense. So yeah, maybe I'll migrate to using that instead. And I wonder now how these trees will look stacked like this. Oh, I see. The card is giving itself away, I think. Shift and what's that? Tilde. Shift and tilde. Oh, snap. Yes. Oh, I like that. I didn't realize it was such a... didn't recall that it was such a quick and easy shortcut. Let's see. Excuse me. If we play now, are those trees giving themselves away as cards in the background? Maybe could do it justice by turning off the outline. That tree is over there. See a clipping. That one not so much. Yep, no, yeah, that one is definitely, obviously not real. But not bad. Not bad at all. The good thing is that it doesn't confirm the camera movement until you left click. Right click snaps the camera back where it was. Yeah,